So you wrote your New Year's resolutions and now you're totally stoked, but also a little scared. Where do you start? Where do you go after you've started? How do you keep the momentum going when things start to suck at school, at work, at home? Luckily for you, I have a plan. My name is Dave Robertson. Let's absolutely dominate 2025. The first thing I do when I'm starting a new project with work, or when I'm writing an assignment or studying for an exam or taking finals at home or just doing something big at home, is to clean and tidy absolutely everything. Why? Because it gives me more clarity and space. It allows me to breathe and focus. So if we're going to be absolute total winners this year, which we totally are, we need to purge what is no longer serving us, not just within our houses, but within our lives. We need to clean up our lives. So the first thing you need to do is to purge your social media. And I don't mean delete all your social medias. I mean, maybe delete a app that you don't use or that is troublesome for you. But more than that, just unfollow everyone who is toxic or makes you feel bad about yourself or is wasting your time that you feel comfortable unfollowing. People you don't feel comfortable unfollowing, for example, people who are toxic, waste your time or annoy you in your real life, mute them. I've always been the biggest fan of the block button in the world, but now the mute button is like my new BFF. So just don't be afraid to mute people. It doesn't hurt them at all. So try to fix your algorithm and get to a point where social media is serving you, where you go onto social media for whatever reason and you leave social media feeling better about yourself, feeling better about your life, having felt maybe even a little productive, and where it's working with you, not against you. Everything that you can have working with you, you want to be working with you, okay? And social media is a big part of our lives, so it has to be on that list. Also, clean up your email, delete things, get things into the right folders, archive what needs to be archived. Your email is, if you're as old as me, if you're in your 20s or older, your email is something you do use. Then purge your closet. I always talk about purging your closet. Why? Because it's one of the things that brings me the most joy in my life. I don't know. I love purging my closet and donating things. Sometimes I sell things though. Not everything is a donate item. Sometimes it's a sell item, but it's just so nice to get rid of your old clothes, make room for new, or just make room in general. I used to purge my closet so that I could buy more clothes. Now I a lot of time actually purge my closet so that I just have more space around me and so that I don't have to frantically try to find somewhere to put my clothes because there's no room at all left in my closet. It just makes me feel better, and it honestly makes me feel like I'm more in control. I personally feel out of control and stressed when I have more clothes than I have room for, and my clothes are just lying all over the place and fire hazard too. So purge your closet and donate or sell. This can absolutely go for other items as well. I also love purging my bookshelves and donating books / selling books. Usually I sell school books and donate other books because school books are expensive. And it's a good feeling. All of the process is good. It's fun looking at what you have. It is amazing to donate. It's really satisfying to sell. And it is such a heavenly feeling having more space around you. So it's a win-win-win-win. Once you've purged negative things or things that are in the way, get some positive things back into your life. So one thing I like to do that you should do too is to consume media that inspires you. And that can be anything really. For me, it can look like listening to self-help book, reading comics, watching Archer.
Paralyzed! Well, join a support group!
For who? Crippled gay hillbilly spies?
Or watching a documentary about someone who inspires me, or watching The Dark Knight. I'm going to be honest, I was watching The Dark Knight the other day and I felt really inspired, especially the law part. I was like, let me get my LSAT book out again because of The Dark Knight, because of Harvey Dent.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
So you never know what will inspire you, but I will say watch media that gets you going, that fires you up, that just makes you feel good. One thing I really love doing is listening to podcasts of people who inspire me. I know when I was younger, I listened a lot to Girl Boss Radio, for example, and I always listen to Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins is my guru. She doesn't know it, but she is. Basically, any book or podcast she has is amazing, especially for women. She is probably the biggest woman in the self-help space, and she has books that focuses on, for example, how women can get ahead in the workplace because it doesn't work the same as it does for men. So Mel Robbins, absolutely. Another one that I'm obsessed with is Chris Voss. He was the FBI hostage negotiator, and he teaches you how to negotiate like no one else. So stuff like that, whatever it is. Listen, if you're inspired by comic books, movies, TikToks, whatever inspires you, consume some of that, sort of feel that like fire in your soul, like build up. Yeah. And then you can move on to the next step, which is just daydream and get closer to yourself. Like go on a walk or do some cleaning without Netflix in the background, or work out, whatever you need to do to get into that state, or maybe before you fall asleep, and just visualize what you want out of 2025 and even beyond 2025. If you envision what you want in 2035, that should also give you a sort of sense of what you need to get done in 2025. So just daydream and notice like what scenarios makes you feel really good about yourself and what feels authentic to you, and get to know yourself better. And when it comes to setting goals are not the same as New Year's resolutions. In my mind, New Year's resolutions, it's sort of like a scribbled down list of things that'd be cool to do, or like really lofty goals, like, oh, I'm not gonna drink at all, and you've been drinking like, 14 drinks a week. It's just I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's whether or not something is possible is actually based on whether or not you're willing to walk the mile. Is that the expression? Whether you're willing to like actually do it, and you know with yourself whether you are or you aren't. But I will say, have fewer goals. Set a few big goals for the year, and then you can have smaller goals for the quarters. I am following the 12-week year, so I do a quarter at a time basically, which is awesome because you have some fewer goals to focus on. But when it comes to a year is longer than it seems, but it's also shorter than it seems. So if you have like 20 goals, don't do that. Have 5. You can have 5 big year goals, and then for each season, each quarter, you have goals based on those goals, and you can also have a couple of additional smaller goals. But you have to see progress on the big goals, and to do that, you have to like focus and prioritize and have real goals. Don't have vague goals, don't have unrealistic goals, don't have goals that make you feel better about yourself. Have goals that you're gonna work towards, that you're gonna achieve. And set SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. And within the time bound, I don't mean just, oh, well, they are time bound because it's for this year. No. Where are you supposed to be in February? Where are you supposed to be in March? Where are you supposed to be in April? Like, make sure they are following through on these goals by having them divided into progress for each month, or at least each quarter. And to reach goals, a drum roll, everyone who watches my videos knows I'm going to say this. It's about your routine. It's about the habits that you have. I love the book Atomic Habits. Actually, all the books I'm talking about here, I'm going to put links to in the description. Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books. I've listened to it several times, and through that, you can really see how everything in life is a result of many tiny actions. It's not the big things that determine our life. It's the small things, the things we do every day. Do you choose to get water or soda? Do you choose to take the stairs, or do you choose to take the elevator? Do you choose to smile to a stranger, or do you choose not to? Not every single moment, but all those moments combined, compounded. So focus on building a good, strong, healthy routine that works for you. Not just whatever some douchebag on the internet says, hey, this is my morning routine. I make $10 million a day.
In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches.
But what works for you? So absolutely read Atomic Habits. I would also say read The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson. It has really helped me put things into perspective and like get a move on, and I think it would help you too. And you will notice the more you follow through with this, the more you rid yourself of bad habits, the less you care about other people's opinions of you, the more you focus on what is real to you and what matters to you and who you actually are. The more you'll also be able to focus on your goals, the more you will reach your goals. It is hard to keep focused on your goals when people's opinions matter to you, and people's opinions might be that you should have other goals. It is also hard to focus on your goals if you're, hungover every day or starving yourself and you can hardly get up and walk to the bathroom. That makes it hard. the more we take care of ourselves, the more we're in a position to like really, really go after our goals. So the less bad habits we have, less bad opinions we care about, the better. And the more good habits we build, the better as well. Which is also why I totally recommend that after watching this video, you click, it will be over here. It's not yet, don't worry, this isn't an outro. But when it happens, it's gonna be in this area and it'll be my video about 12 healthy habits that I'm keeping forever, that have totally changed my life. And you know, I'm a Virgo, so I want you to write some lists. And not just write those lists, write them pretty, or write them on your phone, or write them on a poster based on what you look at, because I want you to have those lists available at all times. Like right now, actually completely randomly, I'm sitting at my desk and this gorgeous notebook that my mom got me for Christmas is here. And the reason why this notebook is here is because I keep it with me and take it around everywhere, because I have my 12-week year in here. So every day I look at my goals, every day I look at my actions for the day, goals for the week, goals for the 12 weeks, etc. And I keep it there. So these are the lists you need. Your goals, your why, and I definitely have videos on building out your why. If you look at like other goals videos, I talk about that a lot. And your why is basically just what drives you. For example, if you want to be a lawyer, why do you want to be a lawyer? It's because you want to help people. It's because you're really good at researching and making arguments and you're good with people. Like, what is the reason for you wanting to be a lawyer? You also need to have your routine or non-negotiables. Like, again, in this, I have like, oh, Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, Thursday I'm doing that. But I also, on those days, don't just have like the actions that are very specific to that day. For example, today, call 1,000 customer representative people who aren't able to help me. Enough about me, that's just my complaint. But that was on the list. But also working out, because I have to work out every day, stream, because I have to stream every day. So have your non-negotiables, things that you do every single day. And you need a list of things that get you back on track. Things that motivate you, things that are good for you, things that get you into that mode. For example, watching that inspiring movie, listening to that podcast, taking a walk, working out, cooking a specific healthy meal that you like, whatever it is, journaling, manifesting, visualizing, daydreaming, whatever those things are that make you feel good, that make you feel returned to yourself. If it's a ritual, if you sit down and you read and then you write and then you go for a walk, for example, you need to figure out what are the things that happen before I feel better about myself, and you need to keep those handy, and how to get back into your routine, or how to like get your mojo back, you know? For example, for me, journaling really helps. I have specific things I do in specific situations. If I'm super depressed, I'll watch Archer. If I'm super stressed, I'll go for a walk. If I feel like everything is hopeless or overwhelming, I will journal. And a lot of times I will do these things in tandem with visualizing, because that is something I love, that always makes me like feel closer to myself. I have my things, you have your things, figure out what works for you, keep them handy on a list, because sometimes when things are really negative, it is really hard to remember positive things or to believe in them. And if you think, oh, it's not gonna work, well, what's the harm in doing it? You know? If you are already down and you go for a walk, you're not going to be more down, but you might feel better. So have things that get you back on track, like get you into your routine, have things that make you happy. That being said, again, check out this video, 12 healthy habits that have changed my life. Take care. See you soon. Bye.